By a peaceful pond, surrounded by tall reeds, lived a turtle named Theo. Now, Theo was proud of one thing above all else: doing everything by himself. He believed he was the most independent turtle in the whole pond. Every day, Theo was busy. He carried heavy sticks to mend the shore, much heavier than you'd think a turtle could handle. He meticulously cleaned the pond floor, sweeping away fallen leaves with his tiny turtle feet. He even built his own special resting spot, a cozy nook under a willow tree, all without a single bit of help. Whenever a friendly fish offered to nudge a stick his way, or a helpful frog offered to clear some algae, Theo would just shake his head and say, "No thanks, I've got it." Inside his sturdy shell, though, Theo felt tired. His little muscles ached, and his shell felt heavier than usual, but he never said a word. He thought being strong meant never showing you needed anyone. One windy afternoon, a big storm blew through. The peaceful pond was turned upside down. Leaves swirled in the water like a thick, green soup, and broken branches floated everywhere. Worst of all, a huge pile of debris washed up and completely blocked the main path to the water. The fish couldn't swim through to their favorite feeding spots. The ducks couldn't land properly on the water's surface. Everyone felt stuck and worried. And what did Theo do? He decided he would clear the entire mess, all by himself. He started pushing and pulling, determined to prove he could handle it alone. Theo set his sights on the biggest obstacle, a giant, waterlogged log. He put his shoulder into it and pushed with all his might. Push. Push. But the log barely budged. He tried again, digging his feet into the soft bank for more power. Push, push, squish. No! Theo's feet slipped in the wet mud, and with a soft plop, he found himself stuck fast. His shell was wedged between the log and the muddy ground. He tugged and pulled, wiggling his legs, but he couldn't move an inch. He was truly stuck. For the first time, a small voice whispered in his heart, "Maybe I shouldn't do this alone." Theo felt a little scared and a little embarrassed, but he knew he couldn't stay there forever. It took a deep, shaky breath, and for the very first time, he called out, not with his usual confident voice, but with a quiet plea. "Can someone help me? Please." Immediately, things began to happen. The fish heard him and swam over, their fins fluttering with concern. The ducks, who had been circling overhead, flapped down to see what was wrong. The frogs, who were sunning themselves on nearby lily pads, hopped closer. Without a moment's hesitation, they all worked together. The fish pushed from the water, the ducks used their beaks to shift the smaller twigs, and the frogs helped clear the mud from around his shell. Together, they freed Theo. Once he was free, Theo didn't just say thank you and leave. He looked at the big mess still blocking the pond and then at his new friends. An idea sparked in his mind. "Let's clear this together," he suggested. And so they did. The ducks used their strong beaks to move the lighter branches. The fish, swimming below, guided everyone, showing where the currents were strongest. And Theo, with his strong shell, steadied the heavy logs so the others could move them safely. The job that seemed impossible for one turtle became easy, and even fun, for a team. They splashed and laughed as they worked, turning a chore into a game. Soon, the pond was sparkling and clear again. The path was open, and the water flowed freely. Theo floated gently, looking at his friends and their beautiful, clean home. He smiled, a real, happy smile that reached his eyes. "I always thought asking for help meant I was weak," he said to the others. He let out a little chuckle, "But it doesn't. Working with all of you, it actually makes me feel stronger." The sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the calm water. Theo the turtle had learned a very important lesson that day. You don't have to do everything alone. In fact, asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's one of the bravest and smartest things you can do.